Hello, Grand Hall. Whoa, that is loud. Okay, we'll adjust. I don't need to scream. That's awkward. We'll try this one more time. Okay. Hello, Grand Hall D. How are we feeling this afternoon? Did everyone get their food? Yes, it was good food. Thank you to the Hyatt for that amazing lunch. Who here is excited for Launch Code today? Yes! Well, I am as well, but it's not just me alone who's going to be introducing our amazing Launch Code finalists. I'd love to bring to the stage the incredible Andrew Gay, who's the manager of App and Developer Ecosystem.
Thanks, Jesse. Hi, everybody. You know what? I would love to start today, actually, with just a huge round of applause for all of our integration partners. It's been a hugely exciting year for us. You know, our target, just to share some internal numbers, our target at the beginning of last year was that we would hit 175 integration partners in the app directory, and I'm excited to announce, but also a little bit peeved to say we're at 197.
Woo!
So we are getting close to 200.
So the three of you who have not developed an app yet, we're looking at you. You will make it happen.
Please do. It might be you up here. All right, so we're going to jump into Launch Code. So 2 years ago, we launched this contest called Launch Code, and the idea was, can we incentivize a way to find creative and powerful and useful integrations for Clio, and really for you, for Clio customers? And so today, we're really excited to announce that out of just an incredible pool of, I think this year probably over 65 different finalists that we evaluated, we have 5 finalists that are going to pitch today in front of our panel of judges. So let's give a round of applause for those 5 finalists.
Woo!
All right, so let's meet our judges before we get going. So I'm really excited to say that today we have Janine joining us.
Woo!
Dan Lear, and Molly McDonough. So our judges are going to be scoring the 5 finalists. They have a scoring ballot, and the way it's going to work is they're going to be evaluating these categories. Functionality and impact make up the bulk of the score. It's really important to us that these integrations add value to the experience of being a Clio customer. Innovation is 25% of the score. It's important to us that people are pushing the boundaries of what's possible and how people think about the practice of law. And user experience is the last 25%. So it's important, obviously, anybody that's used Clio, it's important to us to think about the user experience.
Now, Andrew, 50, 25, 25, that's up to 100. I feel like 100 has something to do with this contest as well.
It does. So in fact, the prize for this is a winner takes all, $100,000. All right, so let's get going. We're going to meet our first finalist.
Oh.
There we go. Good.
Perfect. Oh.
There you go. You got a clicker.
Good afternoon. So I'm going to give you a very short tale about WiseTime. And as every good tale, it starts with once upon a time. So once upon a time, there were 2 patent attorneys living at opposite ends of the globe. And they were starting a clock whenever they started working on a matter and stopped the clock when they were done with the job. Sounds familiar, I suppose. This was tedious. It required a lot of attention and time, but in the end, still only gave them a rough list of what they were doing during the day. The list was rough because of everyday distractions, such as phone calls, colleagues walking into the office, emails that required immediate attention, and the many other things happening during a day. All this resulted in a timesheet that was missing a good deal of work time, no matter how much effort they put in. Our 2 patent attorneys were so upset about this inaccurate and inefficient way of recording their time that they set out to solving the problem in a novel way. WiseTime was born. WiseTime works like a personal timekeeping assistant. It looks over your shoulder and autonomously records where your attention sits on your screen, be it in writing an email, browsing a web page, drafting a document, or whatever. In doing so, WiseTime only records the window title of the active window that you're working in. No content is ever captured. If you're away from your computer, say on the phone or in a meeting, WiseTime reminds you of recording this offline time when you return to your screen. It does so by showing you a non-intrusive notification with the amount of your offline time and allowing you to specify what you have done. All of the recorded time flows into your private timeline, where WiseTime automatically removes the noise using some very clever algorithms, so that your timeline of the day is pertinent, easily manageable, and doesn't contain hundreds of irrelevant entries. And WiseTime is even smarter. It recognizes your Clio case references in your email subject lines or the file names of the documents you're working on, and autonomously tags the corresponding time entries with the right Clio case references. At the end of a day, or the next day, or whenever you feel it's now time, you can browse very quickly through the times recorded by WiseTime during the days, group them if you want, give the group some descriptive narrative, and then post them to Clio, where they're put directly on the timesheet of the relevant cases. From here on, everything works as normal. The patent attorneys that conceived the system, and many other attorneys using it, have found that WiseTime saves them more than 60% of the time they used to spend on timekeeping before, while it captures an average additional 2 to 4 hours of chargeable time each week. Together, this translates easily to an additional $40,000 billable per year. As a bonus, WiseTime produces a meticulously accurate record of what you have done when on a case. And it does all this without you ever having to think about timekeeping while you work. WiseTime is created by attorneys for attorneys. No more hitting of start and stop. No more manual time entries, but better records than ever. And so, our 2 patent attorneys lived happily ever after. Thanks. I know you want this.
Thank you so much. You are up here with me for a few more minutes for the
All
Q&A.
right. Oh, yes, of course.
But I would love to mention that Michael actually came all the way to us from Germany. Amazing. Thank you for coming in. So now over to our esteemed judging panel. Any questions for Michael from WiseTime?
How does it actually track the user's time? That wasn't clear to me. So
It looks at the window title of the active window. So every operating system has an active window that is in front, which you're working in usually. And this window title of this active window is being recorded, and the time you work in this window, of course.
okay.
So when you switch to a different application, another window will come up in the front. It will track the time of this window as well, third window, and so on and so forth.
Got it.
So what you get is an attention counter.
Got it.
So with that, then I wonder, how does it track the difference between personal time and time working on business matters?
What it does is it lets all the time flow into your private timeline, as I said, and you need to post your time to Clio. If you don't post your time, it will never show up in Clio. So that's how it keeps privacy. By default, it puts all in the private bucket, and then you hand over ownership of the data to Clio for the cases that are Clio-related or work-related. Obviously, you can also track other admin stuff if you want, but that's how it works.
Great.
And any other questions here? We're good. That is great. Thank you so much for Michael from WiseTime.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well, let's keep this exciting party going. We are back to our main slide. And our next presenter is coming up here. Let's give a warm round of applause. Make them feel welcome. There we go. Oh, you already have a clicker.
Imagine your law firm had a software development team working around the clock with an unlimited budget to improve the way that your firm delivers legal services. What would you build? How about customized intake apps that can intelligently adapt to each user, only asking the questions that need to be asked? How about document assembly apps for every single form, contract, agreement, motion, pleading, or petition that your firm has ever drafted? How about opening your own branded app store for the law and going head-to-head with DIY providers like LegalZoom? All of this is possible today, and you don't even need that software development team to do it. All you need is Clio and Community Lawyer. I'm Michael, CTO and co-founder of Community Lawyer. Our product lets you build legal apps without writing a single line of code. These apps can collect client data, assemble documents, and run on the web on any device, whether it's a phone, tablet, or desktop computer. And with our Clio integration, you can immediately incorporate these apps into your existing workflow. So, for example, suppose that someone hires you to assist with a divorce. You start by sending them a branded online intake app that can intelligently respond to your users' answers. So if they say that they don't have children, for example, we can skip a whole series of questions. The app then sends the data over to Clio, where it creates a new record. From there, you can edit or add information, and when you're ready, select which one of your document assembly apps you want to use to assemble the right bundle of divorce documents. This app reads data from Clio and fills it into your templates using whatever rules you define. These rules let you do way more than just a simple fill in the blank. You can conditionally insert or exclude entire clauses and paragraphs, allowing you to use a single template to accommodate any fact pattern. The app sends the completed documents back into Clio, attached in the right place. No more typos, no more data entry, no more find and replace, no more wasting time. It's like magic. But legal apps aren't just for clients or for staff. You can even create a library of do-it-yourself document preparation tools and offer them directly to the public, just like LegalZoom or TurboTax. This lets you tap into a new, recurring, and scalable revenue stream from people who weren't even looking to talk to a lawyer to begin with. Better yet, these apps can help you generate leads when their users decide that they need your help after all. For example, imagine someone using a self-help app to assemble their business formation paperwork wants a lawyer to review those documents. With our Clio integration, they just push a single button to forward their documents and their contact details into your Clio account for your review. Now, building apps like this might sound like a daunting task, but rest assured that we've been relentlessly focused from the very beginning on making the user experience as easy as humanly possible. Here's what some of our users have said about how deeply and profoundly we've lowered the barrier to entry for building legal apps. But even if you don't have time to build your own apps, that's OK too. That's because Community Lawyer is not just a platform for building apps. It's also for discovering and distributing them. There are dozens of apps published on Community Lawyer right now that you can freely copy into your own account and edit to suit your own needs. You can also subscribe to and customize apps built by leading experts. For example, I'm proud to announce that later this week, you'll be able to subscribe to apps built by Siskin Susser, one of the most sophisticated immigration law firms in the country, and I think they're in the audience, to immediately plug their automations and expertise and knowledge into your own workflow. Or if you're one of those experts yourself, you can offer your own apps for others to subscribe to and generate a whole new recurring source of revenue for your firm. In other words, Community Lawyer is not just a Clio integration. It's a platform for building Clio integrations. Next year, I want to see someone from this audience competing on this stage to win launch code with an app that they built for Clio using Community Lawyer. With Clio and Community Lawyer together, you have a software development team at your fingertips. We are so excited to see what you all can do with that power to transform our industry for the better and help more people find access to affordable, quality legal help. Thank you so much.
Amazing job.
Thank you.
You so much. Amazing. Over to our judges.
Did you say you had templates or already finished apps that people can copy into the platform, or do you also have just kind of generic templates that people can use?
So we have both. So one use case is if you know what you're doing and you have the ambition and the time to invest in making legal automations, you can start from scratch, upload your own templates, make all your own automations, and go and do your thing. But what we think is really exciting is that our platform offers you the ability to distribute and share the work you've done so that other people can either copy the work you've done into their own accounts and make changes just like software, or offer your tools as a subscription service to other firms. So it can be either one.
Explain briefly the integration with Clio. That was a piece that wasn't entirely clear to me.
So with our tool, you're able to make apps that can either read or write data from Clio. So 2 use cases are you can have an app that is an intake app that takes the data that your client submits and uses that to create a new matter or a contact in Clio. That's one use case. Another is to use the data that's already in your Clio account that might have been collected by apps you've built to fill in templates and do document assembly. So you can both write data to Clio, or build apps that write data to Clio or read data from Clio.
Okay, thank you.
We're good? Perfect. Everyone, thank you so much for
Thank you so
Michael
much.
from Community Lawyer. I will steal that from you. Thank you. Okay, we're chugging along here on a great speed. Let's keep it going for our next finalist. Woo! Sorry.
Good afternoon. My name is Rich Marble, and I'm a solo practicing attorney in Central Illinois, and I'm also the founder and CEO of FirmTrac. FirmTrac is an advanced analytics platform that's developed by attorneys. My slides. As I was building FirmTrac, I had numerous conversations with many of my peers. We talked about the data that they were producing within their law firms and what they were doing with this data. Many of them knew that they had data, but they didn't do anything with this data. This is at the same time the industry is telling us that we needed to make data-driven decisions. I wanted to have a data-driven law firm. I didn't know how to do that, so I looked for a solution and I couldn't find one. So then I built FirmTrac. FirmTrac is an advanced analytics platform that provides real-time reporting and advanced KPIs for attorneys. It's powered by the user information contained in Clio, which includes time entries, invoices, expenses, among other things, coupled with FirmTrac user-defined variables and billing targets. This instantly transforms your static data into interactive graphs and dynamic KPIs. We call this homepage FirmTrac Visualize. FirmTrac Visualize is a global overview of your law firm data. From here, you can explore numerous KPIs, assessments, and other risk assessment tools. I wanted to prepare and make a law firm that provided me less stress, more revenue, and more free time. Unlocking the data was the key. I want to take a short period of time to explain to you 3 ways that I used FirmTrac to implement data-driven decision-making within my law firm. How many times do you guys go to work and you don't really know where to start your day? Let's face it, I can't stack my digital files on the corner of my desk. And in this era of digital offices and paperless offices, I needed a way to immediately prioritize my files so I could determine which files needed my immediate attention. You know the files, those ones that are disregarded, ignored, frankly, they're avoided. At best, these lead to disappointed clients. At worst, these are potential malpractice claims. More importantly, do my priorities align with my firm's success, and are they the highest and best use of my firm's time? A global overview of your firm's success assumes that each matters are created equal. This can inhibit strategic growth. Instead of relying on instinct and preference, rely on the data. FirmTrac Top 10 immediately reviews your information and advises insights and KPIs into visualizations for profit, margin, expenses, and any other information that you want to know. I wanted to know about my profit margins within the law firm. I wanted to do this so I could target my advertising and also selectively and strategically grow my client base. FirmTrac Top 10s allowed me to do this. Now let's talk about time management. In order for the firm to have the success that I wanted, I needed to manage my time. I needed a way to manage my performance and also gauge my team's effectiveness. FirmTrac Employee Manager allows this to happen. FirmTrac Employee Manager provides easy-to-see and understand metrics that allows me to proactively manage my team. By using FirmTrac, I was able to make data-driven decisions that reduce my stress, it increased my free time, and it improved my revenue by 40% over 9 months. Our users say it best, that FirmTrac fills a void, and it does so effortlessly. Look, ignorance is not bliss. And the exciting part of growth is moving into uncharted territory. So stop doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Clio is the first step, and FirmTrac is the missing link. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Come and stand with me over here in the middle of the spotlight. I really appreciated the Marvel references all throughout there. I'm a Avenger fan through and through. But over to our judges.
So how are you connecting with Clio?
Pardon?
How are you connecting with Clio?
Well, the integration allows direct connection with all of the data. So our FirmTrac program connects directly with Clio, and we pull all of the data out of Clio. Time entries, invoices, timekeepers, payments, expenses, everything that's in Clio, AOPs, and we integrate that with the information that we have in FirmTrac, run it through our algorithms to provide the displays. So we use everything in Clio.
Okay, you take every data point that Clio has and bring it into FirmTrac.
Every data point.
Okay, and it's not a two-way sync, though?
It is not a
Okay.
two-way sync, it's one way. And we have then our own user-defined variables, which provides better insights with our algorithms to perform and produce the metrics.
What would you say if you, I mean, there's obviously, I imagine, a ton of data here. What do you think, and I'm sure it's going to vary by firm, but if you could pick like 2 or 3 kind of key data points that would be most valuable to a law firm that FirmTrac provides, what would you say they are?
Well, I think FirmTrac Matter Tracker is really helpful as far as identifying matters that need immediate attention. The second component would be the profit margins that can be generated. So we can look at profit margins for each client, the matters. We can also look at AOP type, and then we can drive down to profit margins for each of the individual resources, so all of the attorneys. So the profit margins really help in being able to really tighten the dials on where you're spending your money and spending your time. So you can know if you're more profitable doing guardianship litigation or landlord-tenant law. So you can start making some really strategic decisions with your law firm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's all? Perfect.
Thank you very
so
much.
much. Okay, oh. Perfect. We are, Tony Stark again. Always a big fan. It was anyone. Perfect. And here you go. Give it up for our next finalist.
Thank you all. My name is Pablo Arredondo, and I'm a co-founder at Casetext. And what a privilege and an honor to be here with my fantastic co-finalists. I'm here to talk to you about Casetext and Clio. Very quickly, Casetext is a company that makes smarter legal research tools. And we've been at it for a few years. There's a lot of small little detail and things that we're very proud of that are these little things that add up. But they only gave me 4 minutes, so I can't talk about that. I can't even talk about all the things in the integration that we're doing. For instance, any document in Clio, you can now create a beautiful binder with all the references to cases and statutes and everything linked out. I can't talk about it. I don't have time. And if you're reading a case on Casetext at our comprehensive database, you can save it to Clio. But I don't have time, guys. We have to talk about Care AI and legal research. I want to start by asking you guys to pretend that you're a search engine. Take a moment. It's kind of a distant journey. And somebody's entered this query. Paris Hilton has been entered into you, the search engine. I'm going to give you 2 choices. The starlet, budding DJ, Miss Hilton, or the hotel in Paris, France called the Paris Hilton. Show of hands, how many of you would return the starlet if somebody entered Paris Hilton? How many would return the hotel? Okay, so pretty dominant for the starlet. Now let me give you a piece of information. The person doing the search recently bought this ticket, Air France, to Paris, France. I can go back, right? Same question. Now that you know that the searcher just did that, how many of you would do the starlet? And how many would do the hotel? That's right. Everything's switched because now as a search engine, you know what's going on. And so the key thing here, guys, is a search engine that has some semblance of what's going on performs much better than one that doesn't. All right, Miss Cyrus was sued in New York, Southern District of New York, for copyright infringement. It was alleged that some of her lyrics infringed a phrase. Like most litigations, it began with a complaint filed in the Southern District of New York. As we were up here talking, hundreds of complaints like these are being filed all over town. So let's say the attorney then did the search for copyright using traditional engines. And the thing is, it doesn't matter which one you use. They're all using the same basic wisdom of the crowd, which is why they all return literally the phone book. A case about whether or not you can copyright the phone book is the top result across all of these, because none of them have any semblance of what's going on, and that just seems like a big, famous case. It's the wrong way to do it. Now in Clio, you already have your matter modes. You've already put your documents in there. You've already taken these key information that encodes what's going on and put it into your Clio system. All that's left is to tell the legal research engine to pay attention to it so that I can give you actual intuitive results. So this is what it looks like. This is not the phone book, these results. These are cases where musicians were sued in the Southern District of New York for infringement of copyright based on lyrics. It's night and day, and it's because you know what's going on, right? The power of this approach to legal research enables you to find case law that you would have overlooked. And I'm not just speculating on that. We've now being used by thousands of attorneys across the country, and they tell us when they do that. It can also make you much more effective at finding things that you might have found using traditional tools, but it's much, much faster. And so I submit to you guys that essentially that legal research we've been wrong about how we've been doing it for the last 20 years. There's a much better way to do it. This is it, and now Clio users have at your fingertips the ability to access contextual legal research. And once you go this way, I don't think you're going to want to go back to traditional research. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pablo. That was absolutely incredible. As you know, I love pop culture, so you sold it for me, but hey, I'm moving it over to our judges here. Pretty straightforward. That's the echo. Yeah, okay, simple, nice and easy. I will steal the clicker back for a second. Thank you so much to Pablo from Casetext. Wow, 4 minutes burns through really fast. Loving that. So we're going to give it up for then our last finalist of the afternoon. Make it loud, people. Woo!
Thank you for having us. My name is Amit Kulkarni, and I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of Haymarket. We're honored to be here at LaunchCode. This year, the theme at the Clio Cloud Conference is the client experience. And at Haymarket, when we think about the client experience, we think about how do clients want to communicate in 2019 with law firms. And we know a few things. 59% of clients expect attorneys to be available outside of business hours. They want quick replies. 68% expect attorneys to be available outside of the office, and that's because of the advent of mobile phones. And we're in the midst of a major shift. There are over 145 billion messages that are sent each day. SMS alone has a 98% open rate and up to a 50% reply rate. On top of that, 37 state ABAs have adopted technical competence requirements. So we know clients want to communicate quickly and get quick replies from law firms. But with that, how can law firms text message with clients and still be compliant? And that's where Haymarket comes in. It's trackable text messaging for law firms. So let's take a look and see how it works. We'll walk you through Victoria, a client who's messaging with a law firm. So one of the nice things about Haymarket is we work with the law firm's existing phone number, so we can text enable any existing phone number, so clients don't have to learn a new number. So Victoria pulls out her phone and texts the law firm instead of just calling it, and now that text message actually gets dropped right into Haymarket Web. So Ethan, the office manager, can not only read the message, but Haymarket connects with Clio, existing Clio contacts and can show not just the number, but the name of the client. So Ethan knows exactly who he's texting with. So no more sending the wrong text message by accident to the wrong client. Even better, Haymarket was designed from the ground up for teams. So all of those messages come into a shared inbox. So anyone in the law firm who has permissions can actually read messages and reply. We've got templates for commonly used replies. They can schedule messages for later and even set reminders. In this instance, the client actually has a question that Ethan can't handle. So he wants to loop in the attorney, Layla. So he'll actually private comment an app mention Layla. The client will never actually see this private comment. Now Layla, who's remote, is using the Haymarket iPhone app on her phone. She'll get a push notification saying that Ethan has left her a private comment. She taps a notification and is dropped directly into the appropriate part of the conversation, and she can immediately reply to the client with the appropriate answer. One of the big advantages that we've seen with law firms using Haymarket is how it really saves the amount of time they spend on phone calls, because they can now shift a lot of that communication over to text messaging. And this is where the integration really shines. It's the Clio integration, is the automatically logging of text messages at Clio. So all of those messages that I just showed you are automatically logged to the appropriate contact in Clio. So you sign into Clio, click on the Contact Victoria, go to the Communications tab, and there you'll see one entry per day of all the messages shared with the client. Click into it, and you'll see the full message history. So this is great for data preservation and record keeping. Even better, every single message has a date and timestamp, so you can even go back and see which of these messages are associated with billable work. And Haymarket was designed to work with any of your favorite apps, including Clio. Just click on the Hey icon and any phone number, and a website widget immediately pops up, so you can be texting with the client within your favorite app. And we work with a variety of apps. We also work with Slack, so you can be texting with clients within your favorite Slack channel. Haymarket supports not just SMS, but also Facebook Messenger and also Apple Business Chat. And we've seen Haymarket have a positive impact throughout an entire law firm. So everything from appointment reminders to requesting online reviews, case status updates, auto replies, and client intakes. We have one customer that's actually reported an increase in appointment attendance from 53% to 93% by using automated text messaging reminders. At Haymarket, we have over 1,000 customers using the product, and they're reporting saving hours per week by using Haymarket text messaging over phone calls. Thanks, and happy to answer any questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Amit. And we can text you. I got it.
Yeah.
Over to our judges here.
So can you explain the automated reminders that you briefly mentioned?
Yes, definitely. So one of the features we have in Haymarket is a concept of lists. So you can actually create lists of clients. So what a law firm will typically do is say, here are a list of my clients who I've got appointments with or meetings with tomorrow or who have important cases. And you can send a single text message template to all of them. But you can actually customize a template to say, for example, hi, double bracket first name, wanted to remind you about your appointment on double bracket day at double bracket time. So, and then you can even include a signature at the end. So each client, even though you might send that message out to 12 clients, it'll be delivered as 12 private one-on-one messages, and they can reply privately to you.
Okay, and do you also accept, does it support MMS?
Yes.
Okay.
So Haymarket does support SMS for text messaging, MMS for photos, also support videos, and then we also support a native integration with Facebook Messenger. So a lot of law firms have a single inbox for reading Facebook messages as well as text messages. And we're one of a handful of CSPs that have been approved by Apple to support Apple Business Chat. So you can actually be communicating directly with clients from within their iMessage on any of their Apple devices.
Quick question about you showed the demo of the phone and you click on the reminder and it drops you right into a chat. Is that Haymarket? Is that Clio? What platform is that you're
Yeah, that little push notification?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a push notification from the Haymarket app. So with Haymarket, one of the reasons a lot of firms will use Haymarket is we have not only a web app that you can use in any browser and any computer, but we have a native iOS app for iPhone and a native Android app, and they all work in sync with each other. So you can get a push notification on your iPhone when a new message comes in, when one of your coworkers leaves you a private comment, you tap it, and you're right in the conversation.
Okay, and that's all existing in Haymarket, and then that gets exported to Clio.
Yeah, that gets automatically logged to Clio.
Got it, okay.
If you have, excuse me, customers, clients who have different needs, is it easy to kind of filter out, how many people have access to a text stream for administration and how many have access for client matters?
Yeah, so one of the things we've been very cognizant of is that law firms can have pretty complex requirements around permissions, roles and permissions. So at Haymarket, we've built in the concept of teams. So you can actually have one team for your entire firm, and then you can invite however many coworkers you want into it. And then each one you can set roles and permissions, so you can control who in your team exactly has access to which customer messages. We actually also have the concept of shared inboxes. So you can have one shared inbox by location. You could have, for example, one for prospects and one for client intake, one for existing clients, and you can control who in your team has access to each of those inboxes and the messages inside.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Give it up for
Thank
Emmett
you.
from Haymarket. Woo! Wow. And there's 193 more integrations. That is absolutely amazing. But let's bring up back to the stage Andrew Gay. Come on, friend. Wow.
Wow.
That's cool.
Wow. Let's give a round of applause for all the finalists.
You wanna click it?
Wow, that was so cool. So we work, this contest really is something that we run year-round. We run it as a forcing function and a way to drive innovation to the ecosystem, and it's really exciting to kind of see all the work people put in to build great integrations for our customers. So I'm really excited about this. Now, here's how it's going to work. The judges are going to finish up their ballots. We're going to take those ballots and put them in a big old locked box, and we're going to take them upstairs. We're going to count them. We didn't ask for PwC's help on this one. We're going to count the scores, and then what we do is we tally them, and then actually tomorrow we're going to deliver those to Jack during his closing keynote. So the winner will be announced during the closing keynote. We have the big check and everything, so come to the keynote tomorrow to see who wins. Otherwise, thank you so much for coming.
Everyone.